Warning, drugs are bad, okay?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Fear the Walking Dead, Season 3, Episode 14, El Matadero. I'm your host, Cleo, and with me I have Dom and John. John, did I say that right?
Close enough.
You didn't roll your R.
I
know.
I took French.
I know.
And that was the one thing I tried the first semester, and then after that, I'm like, I refuse. I cannot roll my R's. I refuse to do them.
Arriba.
Yeah. Honestly, Kay, this episode has been my favorite. This is my favorite episode.
Yeah, and I meant to go back and check on this, but I didn't have time, and I swear, at one point, and I don't want to fully take credit for it, but I feel like it was my idea. At one point, the very beginning of this season, I said they're setting up for Nick to go back to taking drugs. And I feel like that was like episode 1 or 2, something like that. And I said I feel like it because there's a huge parallel here. But I don't know. I don't remember very clearly, so I might just be thinking I said it, but I'm almost positive I brought it up. But don't forget, that was before the break, so that was like last fall, you know.
No, I do remember you mentioning that. I was sitting there hoping, like, please don't.
Yeah. And here's the thing, when you first mentioned it, and we were talking about him relapsing again. My main concern was like, oh, that's typical. So something bad happens, and then he falls onto the drugs. This one shocked me.
Yeah, I definitely, it got me too. Like, I wasn't expecting it. Like, I expected it before, but I wasn't expecting it now, you know?
No. And I think it's not good he's on drugs again. That's a bad thing.
No, yeah.
But in terms of story and interesting character dynamics, like, this is the time to do it, because it's A, shocking to the audience. We didn't expect it. B, it turns the dynamic of Troy and Nick on its head.
Yes, it does, because it flips it.
Which is
they roll
fascinating.
Roll reversal.
Yeah. We're Nick's Gollum now.
Yep. I mean,
Troy's Frodo.
This also might be what turns Troy around. In general, like, he might be more normal on drugs, because not everybody, but, you know, like, some people will take Ritalin to get high. Some people actually take Ritalin for its intended use, you know, and maybe something like that would help Troy, you know? So
straighten him out a little bit.
I don't think any doctor would subscribe a brain stem
no?
of let's call it a pig.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was worried that was like a walker brainstem.
Yeah.
Ooh.
As was I.
And I mean, we know that, like, getting their gunk on you, on your skin, is not going to turn you. But I was like, maybe if you ingest it, like, are they going to, like, turn or something? I don't know. I was nervous.
I think a lot of it is the disease of it, like the bite causes the infection.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it is. Like, it's an instant infection directly into your bloodline. Where if it was a walker, like brainstem, for example, it's sitting in, like, some kind of formaldehyde, or, you know, not exactly formaldehyde, but it's in something that is probably going
brine.
to clear the contaminant, not all of it, but most of the contaminants out, you know?
Yeah.
And actually, I just remembered, we've gone through tainted walker flesh before with the cannibals.
Yeah.
They ate Bob, and they didn't turn.
Yeah.
So.
But boy, were they worried about it.
That was, like, my favorite scene.
I love Bob. I miss him. Rest in peace, Bob.
I know. Rip Bob. But Okay, this episode part for me was so great because it was an interesting episode, and then like towards the end when they took the drugs, it turned into a Quentin Tarantino film, and I was totally like on board. I'm like,
Yeah.
The way they shot it changed, like the camera angles, the way everything moved. I was like, this is Tarantino. I love it.
The one thing that I don't understand is Maddie clearly knew he was on drugs. It was very, very obvious, but she let it slide.
Yeah.
What?
I think it was Taka earlier in this half of the season, saying holding on too tight to your kids is going to make you lose them.
Mm.
And I think Maddie's seeing that, like, because she could like yell at Alicia and make her stay, but that's not going to make Alicia happy, and it's not going to make her come back.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's seeing that, and now with Nick too, where it's like he's back on drugs. What did I do last time that kind of didn't work? I mean, like, I think she's finally seeing trying to control them just doesn't work.
I mean, I also think at this point she's just like, I like, what am I gonna do? Like, he's made this bed. I mean, he made a terrible choice. I mean, I think at this point she knows there's no help for him now.
Well, I think maybe some of it too is he's really the only one that was, well, I can't say the only one. He was the most prepared out of the family for the apocalypse. So I don't know if that maybe had a part to play in it, Like Maddie sees, when shit hit the fan, Nick was the only one that felt normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what it would take to get him out of it. That's the thing, because now he's...
Troy?
Ironically, yeah. But, I mean, my fear is mostly to do with this dude who gave him the brain stems. Like,
yeah,
he's going to start wanting payment.
The butcher?
Of some kind. Yeah.
Here's this free brainstem drug.
Yeah, on me.
On me. Don't worry about it. It's like, first one's free.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're addicted.
He's just like, I'm going to stay back here and do drugs. And she's like, you know what, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah. Yeah. They were driving away from Alicia, who we'll get to, because that's a whole thing. So they were driving away from Alicia, and Troy was asking Nick, why all of these things, and Nick gives the explanation. Because Travis, I had to be there for my mom, and he's like, nah, it's because you love me. And like in that moment, I was like, they should kiss. And the whole episode, I'm like, they have to kiss.
All of a sudden, you went from hating Troy to wanting him in a relationship with one of your favorite characters on the show. In one episode.
Yes.
And maybe not even, in literally one sentence.
Yeah, one sentence. Yeah.
Well, he's not wrong.
If that's not character development, I don't know what is.
Hey.
Hey, someone had to say it.
And that's the thing for me too. Is I love to hate characters.
Mm-hmm.
Hobby of mine.
Well, at least it's a love-hate.
But they have to be interesting. Like if I can hate a character and actually hate them. But if I love to hate a character, it's because they're really interesting.
Right. So at least it's a love-hate where we have like Nikki, who does some of the other shows with us. Once Upon a Time, where she just outright hates Emma for absolutely. I mean, she has her reasons, but I mean, like she hates, yeah. And it's just not like a love-hate. It's just like downright hatred. Yeah. So
I have characters who I hate like can't stand.
For me, it usually goes the opposite way. Like for all the characters that Cleo hates are the characters that I love, and like the characters that are the goody goods are the characters that I can't stand. So usually I'm rooting for the villains almost every time.
Oh, so like I hate Rumple and you hate Charming.
Yes, exactly.
Like that? Okay.
Yeah. You know, or in I'm trying to think of like another example. But yeah, that's
I really don't think there's another strong example like that.
It's probably the best one.
Yeah.
Well, Negan. Negan's probably another good one. I love Negan.
Well, he gets
Here's
his one
the thing,
fuck per season, so
there's a lot that tainted my impression of Negan. So it's not that I think for in that regard I hate the circumstances more than I hate the character.
I can understand that. It's just like everything about Negan like absolutely fascinates me. I love it. And then it's like he throws in the petty lines for you and it's just like the puns and stuff like that and you're just like
Although I heavy sigh at anybody's puns, so
I get a good one for you later. Remind me.
Okay. But yeah, I think Troy and Nick's relationship is going to be really interesting from here on out, depending on how long they respectively live. Because really, who knows? Because we lose a pretty major character this episode.
Yeah.
I did not even consider for one moment that anyone was bit.
Yeah.
Wasn't even a concern of mine.
And I mean, the walker fell right on top of her.
Mm-hmm.
No, was that when they were trying to get into the bunker?
When they were in the ventilation shaft and they cleared the one out of the fan and it fell?
Right.
Yeah.
That bit her.
Yep.
It fell on the both of them and it bit her.
Ugh. So she's been sitting with that for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it was Cleo that said last week, they're just riding on the back there. One of them, they hit a bump and they're just going to fall right off. And then all of a sudden, she just fell right off. And I was like, I didn't think it was actually going to happen. I know you guys probably didn't get the Talking Dead, but they said the stunt actress, she did a couple takes of it. And the final take, her head bounced off the concrete. And they said that that's the take that they ended up using, I think. And when it was all done, like, everybody ran, like, as soon as they called cut, like, everybody ran over immediately because they heard, like, a thud when, on the pavement. And she just picked herself up and was like, oh, I just need some ice, I'll be fine, or whatever. And her whole face was bleeding and everything. It's just like, oh my God.
Poor thing.
Yeah. So
that's no good.
No.
Hope she didn't.
Oh, it was a good hit.
Yeah, seriously.
Very believable.
It looked good.
Yeah.
Because it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's bitten. She's determined to see her father. Maddie's determined to bring her to her father. And seconds. It was a matter of seconds. He missed her by 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't blame him for his reaction.
No, not at all.
The actor that played him was on Talking Dead, and he said they shot like 7 or 8 different kinds of reactions. So he wasn't even sure which one was going to make it until it went live. There's one where, he like screamed at her. There's one where he just started sobbing. They did all different reactions. So it wasn't even like it wasn't even close. Everyone was a completely different take. And the actress that plays Ophelia, she said that she's usually a practical joker on set and she likes to lighten the mood and stuff like that. She had a really hard time during when she was supposed to be dead and Daniel's embracing her because she just wanted to like lay into his shoulder and just like laugh or whatever, but she couldn't, so
gotta hold it together, man.
Yeah, this is serious.
Yeah, I would have if I was in her situation, I would have been whispering things in his ear to try to crack him the whole time.
Dad, I'm not dead. Show's fake.
Taste the rainbow.
Oh my god.
Wait, grab a Snickers.
Snap to a Slim Jim.
If you build it, they will come.
Could be. It's literally limitless.
Yeah.
I can't believe she didn't do it, but I understand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss her on the show, man.
Yeah. I mean, we
Really
played this
am.
whole "Where's Ophelia" game, for weeks and weeks and weeks on The Talking Dead with her holding up flashcards. You know, and now we got her, and now we lost her, and it's just like, ugh.
Well, I mean, we had her for a good chunk of episodes.
We did.
Yeah, she showed up. What I think it was Children of Wrath. Let's see which. Oh no, the one before that. So she showed up. The unveiling. So that was when we came back from break. So it's like 6 or 7 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So she came back for a good amount of time. But yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
That death was pretty tough on everybody.
Well, yeah, it's a shame we didn't get the reunion that we were waiting for, just to see what could have grown from it.
Yeah.
That's The Walking Dead. You know.
Exactly.
You don't get those nice things.
Yeah, which is why I'm sorry, maybe probably poor phrasing, but I'm glad to see that happened to prove that they're not like going back on the fact that this is a fucked up world and you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
Happy. Yeah, I mean, because who were we? I mean, I think we were talking about in the main series, someone like that who was just about to have some like really cool character development, just gone.
I know a lot of people were angry about that.
It was. I thought it was the guard for the outpost, the one that we liked, the cool guy.
Oh.
Cool guy.
With the handshake and I forget his name.
I don't remember.
From last season, it was one of the guards.
Yeah.
From the kingdom.
I don't remember. Whatever. But anyway.
Oh, the kid? Ben?
No. It was like the cool guy. Like, he had like all the funny lines and everything.
But he's not dead. Jerry?
No. Jerry.
Jerry's kicking.
Could have sworn he died.
The old guy who died.
Yeah, the old guy died.
Because Morgan beat the shit out of him to death. A little to death.
No, but like anyway, I mean, even like if you take someone like Travis, like,
he's not dead.
Right, which he may or may not be. Which was really funny. I think wasn't this week's Talking Dead, but the week before.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was on the show. They're like, oh, it was Aisha Tyler was on the show, and she's like, I just don't think Travis is dead. And forget who was with her, the cast member of the show. They're like, no, he's dead. He's gone. Like, stop it. He got shot and fell out of a helicopter. I'm like, no. He could still be alive. Stop tainting me.
Oh yeah, I guess Jerry is still alive. Yeah, I don't know who I was thinking of then. I don't know.
Maybe
it was the kid.
I mean, Travis had a lot of growing to do. Like, he just got back together with, the family, and
after losing his kid.
Right.
They asked something. Somebody said something about it. I think it was last week on Talking Dead, and they said something. The guest was like, I'm still holding out. I still think that Travis is alive, and Chris Hardwick just goes, "No, he's dead." But that's his job to direct you off, even if he knows. But I don't think he knows.
He doesn't know.
I don't think he does, no.
If he's to be believed, he won't let them show him early.
Mm-hmm.
No.
He slipped up before. He's watched. I think it was Fear. I think it was this season of Fear, and we had the double episode for the start. He had actually seen the first 3 episodes, and he was like talking about something, and he goes, "Oh, that's episode. Never mind." And he just like stopped his thought process. He didn't reveal anything, but it's like
he just mid sentence was like, "Oh, I can't say that."
Yeah, he goes, "That didn't happen yet." Yeah. So sometimes he gets to see things a little early, but not often. So, but even if he does have insider information, he'll keep it because it's possible. Because like we've been covering the Saw podcasts, and I did a really good job at covering some stuff up where Nikki and Kim believed that some character, that was dead, and I was like, yeah, they're totally dead, and, I was like, this is why, it just wouldn't make sense. And then here they show up in the next episode, and they're like, but you... I was like, yeah, I know, I was covering myself.
Lie to me!
So...
Yeah, I don't know. Jury's out on Travis.
I don't care if the season ends. If the series ends and we never get an answer, he's still alive. I don't care. Like, until we see a body.
No proof?
Yep.
I don't believe you.
Till we see a body or
That's
a walker, which is still a body.
Still a body, yeah.
Yeah. I will not believe it.
Just a much more animated one.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Jesus, Madison cried enough this episode. I don't think she needs to see Walker Travis.
Travis, yeah. Yeah.
I was waiting for him to show up at the ranch, to be honest.
Oh, that would have been sick.
You know what? Too much stuff happened at the ranch for him to show up.
That's why he's not dead.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it still would have been cool.
Yeah. And I can see a problem I have with a lot of shows with big casts that die off often. Is like a character will die and they'll never mention that character's name ever again. That was a thing I hated about, I think it happened with Lost. Like, characters would die and you'd never ever hear their name again. And it's like, does no one remember that
There
person?
were a few, but not,
there were a few.
Not many.
Oh. No.
There was like the TV show people from they had that show Expose. I don't even remember the two characters' names. Like, they had like a 2 or 3 episode character arc, and nobody liked them, and they killed them off, and nobody ever mentioned them again.
Yeah, but I mean that's a thing that happens with a lot of different shows.
Yeah.
I just remember Lost being the first one where I got really angry about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a big ensemble, and to keep the actors like that around and be like, we might use you in flashbacks and give you, more story and answer and stuff like that, to keep them like locked up would be awful. So I get why sometimes they have to just abandon.
Mention it always seemed to me like they, forgot that person ever existed. Like their name was never ever mentioned again. That sort of a thing. Not like to bring them back, not to like flashbacks, but just like no one's ever said their name again.
Yeah.
And they keep mentioning Travis. And that to me feels like they're keeping him fresh in our minds for when he comes back. But that could also just be, since Travis was such a big part of these people's lives, that they are going to keep mentioning him.
Yeah.
Even if he is actually dead.
It still hasn't been long since he's been gone, right?
No, I think in terms of the show, it's been maybe a couple weeks. Not like for us as viewers. I mean, for them in the world.
Yeah.
How long do we think they've been at the ranch? I think it's been at least a month.
I would say maybe that. Yeah,
still a couple of weeks, but yeah.
But yeah, it's not much. I mean, not much more than that. If it is, I don't think. But yeah, I don't know. They keep bringing it up.
Yeah,
because Strand brought it up, and
see, Nick
brought it up.
I have a problem when shows have a character that's supposed to be gone, and then they utilize showing that character in flashbacks and new scenes and filming like hallucinations of them and things like that, because then I feel like the character never left, and then when the character does make its return, I'm sitting there going, okay, but you really weren't gone because I've been watching you this whole time, so I don't feel anything when the character comes back. But bringing Travis back after having him gone for 13 episodes, or 15 or whatever it's gonna be, if he comes back in the finale.
I think it's 13 because he was in the first 2 episodes.
Well, didn't he go in the because it was a double episode. I think he died in like died. He fell out of the helicopter at the beginning of the second episode.
Yeah.
So
that still counts as him being in the second episode to me.
Fine.
Fine, I guess. Whatever.
But we do have a double episode next week, right, for the finale?
End it, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
before we talk about next week's episode, let's talk about Alicia.
She didn't get mad. I was so happy.
She didn't get mad? What are you talking about?
We were talking about how she's going to get mad that Nick's following, especially with Troy there, and, she didn't get mad at all.
Well, I was assuming she'd get mad because I was mad at him because I knew Jake is dead because of him.
Yeah.
But that's information Alicia doesn't have. I was projecting, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
But once she finds out Jake's dead because of him, if she finds out. She might never find out.
She might, 3 seasons from now, because...
Which would be fantastic!
And at that
3
point...
seasons from now when Nick and Troy are dating. She finds out and kills him. That's what I want to see, guys. Take notes.
I don't think we're going to get more than a bromance.
Did you see how he held Nick's head? He was just like this.
You gotta cradle him.
He had to cradle him to stop him from talking to walkers. It's like, Nick, what are you doing?
Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah.
But now Troy knows that. I don't think he knew the, technique of smearing viscera on yourself to hide.
No, they haven't used it this whole season, and that was Nick's thing.
I think
but what made him feel, at home in the zombie apocalypse was walking with the walkers.
I think at this point in the timeline, not in the airing of ordering and all that, but in the timeline of The Walking Dead, I want to say Nick is probably the first and only character to know that smearing stuff on makes you invisible to zombies, because I don't believe Rick and them did that until they get to the prison. Or just
they
did shown.
No. They did it while they were still in Atlanta. Rick had just met Glenn and them. They were stuck in a building, and they covered themselves, and that's how they got out of Atlanta.
Oh.
Yeah, that was in the first couple episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember that season.
Because that was when they still thought that if it got on your skin, it could infect you.
Yeah.
So they covered themselves with lab coats.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that. Yeah. Not you mentioning it. I remember now that you mentioned it. Yeah.
But Nick probably did figure that out before that happened, because that was that was after Rick woke up. So.
Yeah, so this is still in the time, but yeah, so Rick knew about it now. Now they've surpassed Walking Dead, but I think they're only in probably the equivalent of season 2 or 3 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Forgot where I was going.
What was she talking about, Alicia, still?
Oh, Alicia. She makes a new friend, sort of killing buddy, not friend.
And they bonded over mashed potatoes.
They did.
I mean, I would too.
That was the fucking jackpot, because it's just a giant tub of instant mashed potatoes, and I was just like, oh, Alicia, you hit gold.
You did it.
And then this crazy lady comes in with her pickaxe and just kills all the I was like, I love you. I haven't seen your face yet, and I love you, because you just coming wielding a pickaxe.
I don't know you, but I love you.
Yeah. And I'm not making the comparison for any race card or anything like that, but she reminded me of Michonne. Just the way she came in, it was just a total badass, and by no other means than that. It was just
I think it's because her face was obscured, she was silhouetted, yes. She had a melee weapon.
Exactly.
Her entrance does mirror Michonne's in a way.
Looks like a duck and quacks like a duck. You are a badass.
Yeah.
And just one badass duck.
Quack.
And actually, at first, when we couldn't see her face or really anything about her, I thought she was one of the ladies from the miniseries. Turns out she's not.
So I was thinking, I'm like, where are these ladies?
They're wandering the desert somewhere with Luciana. That's just what's happening. I guess. I am convinced of it. Because they're on the Mexico side. Or at least that's the last we saw of them.
Yes.
Yeah, no, this.
But
she's taken teeth. She's taken fingers.
That ball pit, though.
She got in the ball pit, and I was like, wouldn't you want a vantage point? You're going down into the pit. If you get if anything comes at you, you're screwed. And then something moved, and I was like,
well, yeah, but the way she went in to get into the ball pit, that would be the same way that anything coming in would have to get. They'd have to go up the tube, come in, and slide down. Because there's a ladder out, there was netting all around, so it's not like a walker is going to get through that netting.
My rationale was, why wouldn't you take, like, a bird's perch and be a sniper, sort of, in that situation? I guess because she wanted not to be seen. I was just like, that's not what I would have done.
Yeah, she wanted not to be seen. She was trying to, like, hide from the walkers so they couldn't see her when they came in. Because, number one, the ball pit smells funny. You know, like, I don't know if you've ever been near a ball pit. Yes. It smells like feet and socks. And,
forget minus the dead thing.
Yeah, so you're not going to smell her, so they're not going to, like, instantly start going for it. And two, they're not climbing through that tube. Like, it's not happening. So they're not going to get to her no matter what. That's the safest place for her, to be honest. But, yeah. Never thought for a second that there would be a dead kid in the ball pit, you know?
Yeah. And in recent years, I've learned I have claustrophobia. So that's probably another reason why I would not have gone into the ball pit.
See, and, like, me personally, I'm always, like, I go to Dave & Buster's, I'm like, why is there not a giant ball pit for adults? Like, that's one thing that I need Dave & Buster's to have.
Drunk people vomit.
I don't care. That sounds like fun to me.
Oh, gross. No. I would accept a bouncy castle in Dave & Buster's, not a ball pit.
I agree.
But I would do a bouncy castle.
My mall is putting in a Dave & Buster's right now as we speak, and I'm just, like, so excited because I was like, putting it in a mall is, like, the most fantastic idea I've ever heard.
I think there's one in the Palisades Mall.
Nice.
I think.
There might be.
I've never been to that one, though. Anyway, not about Dave & Buster's.
It should be.
Should be.
Next week on our Dave & Buster's podcast.
Yes.
So, Alicia seems to be helping. Do we know her name? New lady? Diana. Yes.
There you go.
So, Diana's car breaks down, and Alicia sticks around to help her out, and they're gonna kill zombies together and take fingers and teeth.
Well, I mean, she did mention, like, no offense, but I need to get away from you because you sound crazy.
Yeah.
And then Alicia's like, we're not friends, we're just murder buddies.
Yeah. Well, let's just murder some stuff. Although, if I was offered that ring, I would have taken it, because that was a pretty cool-ass ring.
Yeah, Alicia doesn't think so.
I thought it was really cool. I would have taken it.
What I found interesting is that, you know, Diana kind of called her out on her bullshit.
Yeah.
Because she's like, you're not going to find anywhere that's just, like, going to be okay and you're going to be happy.
No.
You're not going to live. Like, you're going to survive. There's none of that here.
And, I mean, she said, Alicia said to Nick, surviving is killing me. But
well,
no matter where she goes, she's going to be trying to survive.
Especially if you're alone. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard enough to live, like, alone like that in, like, normal people world. Let alone in a place where there's dead things trying to eat you.
Yeah.
And there's no food. So, I don't know what the hell she's thinking or, like, what fucking spirit quest she needs to go on to get her shit sorted, but, like, it's very unrealistic. And I don't know what it's going to take for her to, like, you know, snap out of it and be like, this is dumb. I should go back to my family.
Well, I mean, I think there's something to her needing to get away from her family, because they're not.
But that's two different things. Yeah.
Yes.
Look, I don't blame her for wanting to get away from Nick and her mom because they are stifling her. That's fine.
They really are.
But to think that you're going to go find this cute cabin and hunt game and have a lovely life alone in a cabin is really dumb. They don't even do the can thing that the people on the main show do. Can't do the can thing.
What can?
Why aren't you doing the can thing? You know, they set up a string of cans.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if the walkers walk into them, it goes jingle jangle. and then they know to get up and shoot them. They don't even do the can thing when they sleep.
They don't do that because there aren't really trees. They're not in a forest.
Okay, so here's the rub. You take 2 snakes, you kill them, and you give them rigor mortis. You plant their asses right in the ground.
You give them rigor mortis.
You give to them the gift of rigor mortis.
It sounds scientifically okay to me. So
you just
I'm
give
not
it to them.
Problem there.
Let me wrap it up in a bow, and then just hand you some rigor mortis.
Yeah, obviously.
That's how it works, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I think her rolling with Diana is gonna show her a thing or two,
and at least give her a sense of the economy of the area.
Yes,
teeth,
Diana's
rings,
surviving
gold.
by selling the fingers and teeth.
Right, because the only economy we know at this point are guns and water.
Yeah, and drugs.
Yeah.
But I guess you buy the drugs with guns and water.
I mean, that you're working for it.
I mean, with Nick and Troy are sticking around to do some more drugs, so we're gonna find out what they're gonna make them pay with.
It's like prison, where the currency is cigarettes,
or your ass.
That's true. I'm surprised we.
Thanks, John. Thank you. It's classy.
I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen that as currency in the Walking Dead series yet. I'm not saying I want to see it. I just said I'm surprised.
I mean, kind of Negan.
Kind of Negan.
Omission.
He just give me your wife and I won't kill you. So.
He just has
I won't
wives,
kill your family if you become my wife. But they totally do it willingly.
Yeah, he has wives. It's not like he's soliciting women out, to the public,
Yeah, but I won't kill you if you be my wife.
Yeah.
Still, not great.
No, I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying any of it's good.
Oh, yeah, no.
Saying it's not really the same thing as prostitution.
No,
but
it's...
Close.
Yeah, I guess it's not really using it as currency, but it's a trade, sort of.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the 2 boys are going to be... The old Duke boys are going to get out of this one. Because they're just going to dig that hole, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he took all the painkillers that were for Ophelia.
Almost all of them. There were
most
4
of them
left.
I don't know. I feel like they're going to steal from the bazaar, and it's not going to be good.
No.
Because when they run out of money or, things to trade to get drugs, and
because they don't really have anything.
They have to resort to stealing something else from the bazaar to trade for drugs. It's going to get them in trouble, and, Alicia or Maddie are going to have to come bail them out. More than likely,
I mean,
it does sound
like it does sound like Alicia might be headed that way with Diana.
Yeah, because it sounds like Diana deals with the bazaar.
Yeah, so she might show her, look, if you need supplies, bring shit here and you can get it. So,
yeah.
And there's something that didn't, or that we didn't really get an answer to, but Strand goes to this weird part of the bazaar and demands to see Proctor John, saying he wants something. I guess Proctor John sounds like he's the head of, the mafia or something. And Strand says, so I've got something that John will want, and I need to talk to him. That didn't go anywhere, did it? And did Strand leave with them for the dam?
Yeah, well, she asked that he could.
She said, I want to bring the others. And he just kind of, nodded and walked off.
Yes, and he does leave with her, because Maddie turns to him and goes, let's ready to go. Oh, and he said something. What did he say? He said something as they were walking away. And it sounded ominous, but I don't remember what it was now.
Well, he made it very clear that he does not trust her judgment. at this point.
Yeah.
And I feel like he is conspiring against her now.
Yeah, he made some backroom deal with whoever Proctor John is. Oh, maybe he's selling out the dam. He's probably telling him, oh, hey, there's this dam. I can tell you exactly how to get in and no one will stop you.
Could be.
Yeah. So, that's this episode. I didn't miss anything. Oh, Taka was talking about loss. That made me sad.
Oh, I thought you said he was talking about Lost, the TV show. I was like, wait, what?
He's talking about Lost. No, he's talking about loss and how he thought his whole life was built on it. And
yeah.
When it just keeps happening to you, it's just too much. That made me sad. I'm like, Taka, I like you.
Go hang out with Crazy Dog more.
Huh?
Yeah.
Just go hang out with is that the same Crazy Dog?
Crazy Dog, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
with
you want to deal with loss. I still think Rick's got everybody topped.
He still has his children, so.
For now.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not supposed to have one of them.
Yeah, well.
This is true.
Yeah, so
anyway.
That's this episode.
Yep.
Next episode is the double episode, Things Bad Begun and Sleigh Ride. Strand's motives are made clear when Nick discovers a new threat descending on the dam. Madison faces a horrifying revelation. Horrifying,
you say. I'm not gonna lie, the sleigh ride thing sounds a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Santa's coming in next episode?
I hope so.
I don't
That'd be
think
rad.
so.
It'd be really funny if somebody was in a Santa costume.
Launcher.
You get like, what's that guy from the most recent Grand Theft Auto 5 that lives out in the desert in the trailer park?
It's just like the Mad Max version of Santa Claus.
The crazy guy. He's just like insane. He's swearing. He makes almost no sense. He's like firing at everything. Like I could just totally picture him out in the desert being Santa Claus. Be fantastic.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for Santa next time.
No! Tom, where can people find you?
At Santa Claus. No, at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Phenomenon. John, where can they find you?
You will find me at No More on Twitter, justifying the presence of Santa Claus and Fear the Walking Dead.
You can find me at Cleomoto refuting those points. And you can find all of us at ASO TV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows, video games, and movies. Until next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
So, Cleo, 2 unicycles go into a bar. The bartender says, "We don't serve your kind here." They're like, "What? Why?" "Because you don't handle bars."
Mm-hmm.
So that one's not even good.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not mine, it's Jake's.
The roast.
I think I'm just having trouble with the sentence structure in that one.
Why, you don't handle bars? That's a sentence.
You don't handle bars.
It's
I don't
2
know.
words, not 1.
Yeah. No. Oh, that part I got.
Okay.